What's up, everyone? It's your girl Shay here. Welcome to my channel. If you already know, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. And as you can see by the title of today's video, I'm talking a little bit about the controversy that I kind of saw online, or the issues I saw online regarding the casting for Hayase Nagatoro for the anime Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. Now, I know nothing about this series. I've never read the manga at this point in time. I'm not watching the anime, but a lot of people were talking about the casting for the English dub for this series, specifically Hayase Nagatoro. So Hayase Nagatoro, as far as the pictures I've seen of said character, is a tan Japanese character, and apparently, or tan Japanese girl, and apparently she is going to be voiced by a black female voice actor. And immediately as soon as Crunchyroll announced who was voicing her, a lot of people appeared out of the woodwork voicing their opinions about her voicing said character, and a lot of the comments were very, very racist. So as far as what I could see was, I thought there was a controversy regarding her voicing her due to maybe she was controversial, maybe the voice actress was controversial, and the voice actress's name who's voicing Nagatoro is Kimberly Ann Campbell. I apologize if I said her name incorrectly or if I was incorrect with the name at all, but she's the one that's voicing her. And I thought that maybe there was a controversy regarding her, maybe, something's wrong with her, or maybe they're going to say her voice doesn't sound like it could voice her. No, people were purely talking about this voice actress's skin color. So I decided to look and see what people's arguments were regarding this, and I basically saw three different arguments that people had, or three different issues that people had with this casting. One of them is them constantly saying, what I saw was them saying that Nagatoro wasn't black. No one said that she was, and from what I could see, she's not. She's Japanese. She's just a tan Japanese girl, which we've seen in several other different animes. For example, Peach Girl, Momo is Japanese, but she is tan due to her doing swimming, and apparently for Nagatoro, she's tan due to her playing outside in the sun for sports. And then people were saying, well, they probably only got Miss Campbell to voice Nagatoro, or wanted her to voice Nagatoro, because of the character being tan. And a lot of companies nowadays, specifically in the West, are a lot of times trying to give voice actors or actresses who look like the characters, or at least have the same ethnicities to skin tones maybe of the characters of which they are voicing. We don't know this for sure, so the fact that people brought this up in an argument is that no one knows for sure. No one works for that company. People can guess this, but they do not know. And then a lot of people also, I guess the other argument that people were saying for the issues they had with her voicing said character is that just the same thing, because Nagatoro is not black. But to me, that's just really stupid. And overall, all I can think is this was my entire issue with it. People have an issue with Miss Campbell voicing Nagatoro because apparently Nagatoro is not black. But also, if a voice actor who was white was voicing her, Nagatoro is also not white either. Nagatoro is Japanese, and this is the English dub. So why is it such a big issue with Miss Campbell voicing Nagatoro? It's just a whole bunch of racism coming out, and that's the one thing I can say that I dislike about anime Twitter, is that if you are a person of color and you are voicing a character that obviously doesn't look like you, or cosplaying as a character that doesn't look like you, people automatically point out your skin color. You don't have to do that. I know I'm black. That isn't going to change. But you pointing it out is stupid. And then you pointing it out as saying well, that character's not black. Obviously, I know that character's not black. But because I want to dress up like them, or because I want to voice said character, or got casted to voice said character, doesn't mean anything. It's a fictional character. Miss Campbell is purely providing the voice for said character in the English dub. That's it. She's doing a job for which she was hired for which she auditioned for which she is being paid for. That is purely it. If they didn't think that she was the right voice for the job, they would not have casted her. And for people saying they only did it because she looks a particular way, to me is complete and total bullshit. Because if that is the case, then a lot of other characters that obviously were black would have been casted by black voice actors or actresses. An example I can give, granted this show was made years ago, but if you want, I can use this as an example. Actually, I am. In Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt, Garter is played by Chris Sabat. Garter is black, but he's voiced by a white man. I personally had no issue with this because Chris Sabat voiced the character perfectly fine. He was a great match for said character. And as far as I have heard, because I have not watched the show, people are applauding Miss Campbell's work as Nagatoro because she's a great fit for the English dub. So for those of you guys who have an issue with this, if it is that big of an issue, then don't watch the show. But the fact that you're more upset about the casting due to what the voice actor or actress looks like is beyond my understanding. Because to me, the only issue you should have is if that voice actor or actress, regardless of their race, what they look like, doesn't matter, is can they voice the character correctly? Do they sound well as said character? Are they bringing life to the character in a way that you think this character would sound in an English dub? And also, I feel like most of you guys that are complaining about this probably aren't even gonna watch the dub because you don't even like dubs. You're probably just gonna watch it subtitled anyway, so why do you care about who voices the English voice if you're not going to watch it? You know, there's probably already not even a lot of people of color who are voicing specifically anime characters. So then for you guys, or for a majority, or for the people on Twitter who want to complain and troll and be stupid and be racist, to then get upset about said casting and then say, well, what if it was a character that was black that was voiced by a white voice actor, voiced by a white voice actress? This has already happened. And I think this is why I kind of hate social media in a lot of ways now, is because a lot of these things you can now look up and find. Whereas before, if someone was voicing a character, we didn't know what the person behind said voice actually looked like, unless it either like they did an interview or whatever. But there's, you know, that was the case. But also, you have to realize there's also not a lot of characters in anime that are black, or that are specifically known to be black or African American. Most characters in anime are Japanese, or they're portrayed as white people. So for you guys to then get mad about her voicing a character that is Japanese, then to me, have that same issue when a white person is voicing a clearly Japanese character. But no one gets mad or upset because their whole thing is, oh, well, it's the English dub. Correct, that's exactly what this is. It is the English dub, but it just so happens that the person voicing this character is black. So I know some people want to bring up the whole issue of like how a lot of companies are making this change of trying to hire people who are doing voice actors or voice acting for a character to look more like the character of which they are voicing. Specifically, I know The Simpsons did this and a couple of other shows. That is within Western media, granted with anime being like not a Western product, but with anime basically being dubbed by Western companies, this could happen. But that's something that those shows decide to do. But we don't know what anime companies are doing behind the scenes. And also because the anime voice acting community is so small and such a niche community, there's not a whole lot of people that look like me doing specifically anime voice acting. When you look at the other forms of voice acting in the West for like shows like The Simpsons or Family Guy or all the other shows that we know and love, you have a bigger pool of people that you can specifically probably work with that do look like me. And especially nowadays, there's a lot more people out there, whereas before there wasn't a whole big group of people that you could get to voice these characters, which is why you do have some people giving up their roles to more voice actors because of the fact that there is more people. Even in Dragon Ball Z this happened because Chris Sabat himself said he gave up a lot of the characters that he voiced in the original DBZ to then not voice them in like DBZ Kai and DBZ Super because there's a bigger pool of voice actors to work with. So there's that. But people saying this though, like, none of us know for sure. We don't work for that company. We weren't there for the hiring process. All we know at this point is that she got the role and she auditioned for it, and she seems to be the best fit based off what I've been reading online for people who have gone on to watch the dub. But then people still want to constantly argue about her casting. Instead of arguing about her casting, look at her work that she's doing and judge it based off of that and her voice fitting the character, not specifically because she was hired to voice this character that is tan, and because she just so happens to be black. Because no one would be arguing this if a person who was white would have been casted for this role. And that's mostly what I have to say about it. I, once again, don't understand people being upset about this. To me, it's the stupidest thing for people to be upset about. And to me, all it did was drag out, once again, the racists on Twitter that are among the anime community that for some reason dislike people who look like me either voicing their characters or voicing characters in anime or dressing up as characters in anime, but don't have an issue with someone who is much paler than my complexion voicing or cosplaying a particular character. Also, one other thing I do want to point out, even if I wonder if people would have felt the same way if they would have gotten someone who wasn't black but was a tanned version of their race. For example, there are people who are Asian who are much tanner, people who are Hispanic who are tan, people who are Indian who are tan. There are people who are, just have a more natural olive tan skin tone. So I'm curious on if someone of those other ethnicities, people of color, would have voiced this character, would people have the same issue? Because once again, Nagatoro is Japanese. But overall, that's what I'm curious about. And I wanted to make this video because of what I saw online and what I was reading about, and it made me very upset and very, very angry and just overall disappointed in the anime community. We're supposed to be very welcoming for people who want to know more about this medium, who want to watch more about this medium, who some of us even want to be a part of that particular industry. But to see that people get so upset about something as easily as skin tone and a voice actor or voice actress's race and the character that they're going to be voicing instead of the product that they end up producing in the end, as far as like what their voice is able to do or how their voice is able to bring this character to life, for people who don't want to watch the subtitle version and want to watch it dubbed, is crazy to me. But yeah, that's why I wanted to make this video. And it's surprising that all this issue, that like everything I was reading was only on Twitter, because when I went to any other source, like I went to Reddit to see what people were saying on Reddit, and people on Reddit can be just as troll version or troll worthy as people on Twitter. But people on Reddit were like, I don't have an issue with this. She's actually really good. Like, people had nothing but positive things to say about this casting, but Twitter was where the issue was. So yeah, let me know your comments about this. Let me know how you feel about this. Did you have an issue with this? I guess. I don't know. But yeah, what did you overall think about this? Let me know by commenting down below. Let me know your thoughts about this. Of course, down below I have links to all of my social media. I have an Instagram, a Twitter, and a TikTok, so feel free to check me out all on there. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. And feel free to comment any suggestions you have for future videos, which I will come out with on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And my next video I have on Saturday is hopefully going to be another ranking tiered kind of video. I think about like shoujo manga or shoujo anime. So trying to figure that part out. And I will make the tiered screen a lot bigger, because that was my first time doing it before. So I'm going to do it again. And this time I'm going to make sure it is much better. But yeah, that's what I have for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I always tell you guys, stay positive, stay nerdy, and today's day and age, stay healthy. And of course, please stay safe. All right, you guys. Bye.